Okay, we got live up there.
All right. Let's see. Cat Fitness over here.
All right. Yes.
Yep.
All
We are
right.
here.
Oh,
Not to be missed. Not to be missed.
Yeah.
We are
It's a full studio.
Yeah. It's a full studio.
Full
We're
studio
here
today.
tonight, y'all. And thanks for joining us. Excited to see you all.
See? They're excited about what's going on with this Black Wall Street, she said.
Ooh, I
know.
know.
How do we
Ah,
build like that? Come on, Felicia, you know. You already know my sound is. Yeah,
Hey,
Yep.
everybody.
damn.
Come on in. Come
Yeah.
on in.
You just want to say something.
We can't wait for this event too. We're so glad that you all are coming.
Let's pull the mic closer to me.
Yes.
I'm sorry, dear. What's your name?
Roz.
Roz. Hi, I'm Felicia.
Hi,
Bridges.
Felicia.
You met
Nice
her
to meet
before.
you. I have?
Yes. This is
Where-
part
We met
two.
the last time I was here.
Okay.
Right. That's the way I feel. Kat
No
will
worries.
mention somebody and I'll be like, who? Like, I'm sorry,
It's
we've
all
been
good.
doing this too long.
I'm right. And I'm like, do you know how many people that
Right.
You
I
meet a
know?
lot.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Uh-huh.
Roz, dear,
Yes.
can you talk in the mic? What did
Yes.
you have for breakfast this morning?
I just had a smoothie that I just made. So, and Kat actually helped me level up the smoothie.
Nice.
Leveled it up with some things. With
Some sea
mushrooms,
moss.
some sea moss.
Yes.
Come
I
on.
love the mushroom.
What else
Yes.
did you tell me to put in there? Spirulina,
Uh-huh. Perfect.
kale. So it's cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
Now we have to get her to drink water.
Water's next, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I act
Go
like
ahead.
water is made out of poison, so I understand.
Right?
Go ahead, Darren. It's on you.
All right. Well, as I explained before, I'm fasting right now, so I've had nothing but tea. This is my third round of tea already. Good old cinnamon tea, black tea boy over here. So that's been my breakfast, and I can't wait to eat. I'm already in hour, I think 15 right now.
Boom. All right, we got you, Darren.
All right, perfect.
Anything can happen show. Ooh. And I had a vegan pepper jack cheese with vegan miso butter on Ezekiel bread and some tomatoes for breakfast.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Love that vegan pepper jack, man.
Okay.
So good.
So good. All right.
We got her.
Hello. I love me some vegan pepper jack cheese and a grilled cheese
Yeah.
sandwich.
All right.
Hell so good. $25.
25. Let's
Yeah.
get it. 25.
All right.
I'm all about
What is it? 22 right now? I can't even
It's
see it.
16, 17, 18, 20. It's like the New Year's countdown.
Oh, I thought you meant 25 in the minutes.
All right, we want 3, 2,
Because
1.
it's 12.
You're going to start at
12:25. She meant 25 the
All right,
minutes,
hit
not
it.
the seconds. Okay. Okay, so let's rewind.
Rewind.
All right, pause.
You didn't even
Okay.
hit the record button. You just the radio.
You said 25.
Yeah, not 25 seconds, 25
Oh, okay.
minutes.
25 minutes. All right.
We're getting it together, y'all.
Yes, we are. It's happening. It's going to
You
happen.
got 1 minute to
1
kind of
minute.
like push that fader up. I
Yeah.
will count you off.
Count me off.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? Mention the moment. Yeah, mention the moment. We're going to be talking about the Bricktown Market. You already know.
Bricktown Market.
Absolutely. Good to see you all. Hang in. We're here with Anything Can Happen podcast.
I remember you.
Okay.
See, gosh.
Yeah.
Funny.
know you.
I was kind of hurt. I tried not to be.
Yeah. She was like, huh? You been here? Oh, I know who you are. You're the world famous Rozz.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
where
yes,
we at?
yes.
We at
We
45.
are almost there.
We're there. Okay.
All right. Let's start
Let's
this
get
thing, y'all.
All right.
And if people want to tune in on the radio waves, it's what is it?
ACH.show.
ACH.show.
You're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgbc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show with Kenya Asa, Cat Fitness, and guess what? We have a guest host, y'all. Brother Darren from Financial State of Minds is stepping in for Brother Kwesi. For those that don't know, Brother Kwesi had to leave us, y'all. Aww. Wow, I'm the only one that says all for Brother Kwesi.
I did too.
I already shed my tears last week. Now my heart is hardened. My heart.
Brother Kwesi went to Houston, y'all. He left this
he
week.
did.
Yep,
H-Town.
H-Town.
But-
H-Town's expedition.
Yep,
H-Town, you know,
Yeah.
he's going to be popping in and out every
Yes,
once in a while, but
yes.
we're going to have Brother Darren from Financial State of Mind being the
State minds.
Minds. Being our financial guru on the show.
Today.
We kind of, you know, we feeling out the chemistry in the studio today, y'all.
Now, we already have chemistry with
Right.
him.
Yeah, I'm very honored to be a guest host here. Anything Can Happen show. I've been rocking with you guys, literally seeing you guys record how many episodes now? For the last 6-7 months.
We 1 million episode.
Yeah.
Right.
But we have a special guest, y'all.
Yeah.
Came back for round 2.
Woo-woo.
The heart of Oakland. Agency. Oakland. The world famous.
Yes.
Rozz is in the building, y'all.
Thanks, guys. So excited to be back here.
Man, we had to have you back because you have so many amazing things going on in agency in Oakland, and we just want to let the world know what is going on and what you're building right now.
Wow. Well, oh gosh, lots of things. We started off as a venue for artists, a space for creatives to, kind of share their gifts, share their talents. And that materialized in a lot of different ways, right? We had concerts, we had film screenings, art exhibitions, vendor markets, any ways all the different ways that we could support, particularly Black and Brown artists and creatives in Oakland. And we've been doing it for about 1.5 years now, which is crazy. It feels like we just started. But we decided to take a pivot, and at the beginning of the year, we decided we wanted to really focus exclusively on folks who are creating these small businesses. A lot of those sprouted out of the pandemic. A lot of people had to make a way out of no way. And
Don't I know it?
Right? We all had to find a way to do that,
Yeah.
to be creative and figure out how do I,
Totally.
identify my various talents and things and monetize them. Right?
Absolutely.
And a lot of folks have been successful in creating these amazing new brands. And so we're here to kind of highlight our folks and be like, listen, here's a space. We have a big old warehouse. Why don't you come and help us fill it with what you're doing?
And I haven't even been yet.
You haven't been.
I have not even been yet.
Man,
so
you're
I'm
missing out.
I will
'Cause
not
I've
be
been.
missing out for long. I know you've been.
I've been to the last couple of events. And they've been
Right.
fun.
You hold it down.
Well, I am incredibly excited because I have not been. And something is about to happen.
Something is about to happen.
Yeah.
So along with deciding to be really exclusively supporting vendors and vendor markets, we decided to team up with a really awesome sponsor, Black Joy Parade. Now, who doesn't love Black Joy
Come on.
Parade?
Hey,
Come
hey,
on.
right?
Come on, Black Joy Parade.
Shout out Black Joy
Joy,
Parade.
all them
Yes.
folks, right?
Yes, yes.
So they are dope. They put on the biggest event in Oakland every year. It's just what it is, right? Everyone takes to the streets during Black History Month on that day in February to cheer on, Black joy and Black pride and Black beauty. So we reached out and just said, hey, y'all, we want to do a night market. We want to do something cute, but we want to do it with you. It could be a cute little kickoff to the weekend. And they were like, hell yeah, that sounds dope.
It's amazing.
So we decided to come together and I'm sorry, I just said.
That's all right.
Okay. And
That's not one of the big ones.
that's not what it is. Okay, yeah. I have a bit of a potty mouth, so I'm
No,
trying.
Yes, I hear you.
You're good. You're all good.
Thank you. So yeah, they decided to co-sponsor and say, let's do this thing. Let's create a cool market to really highlight our vendors and our folks who are out here trying to make that coin, And so we're also going to have performers. Soul Development will be there.
Shout out Soul Development.
Love our fam.
Okay.
Right. We've got Monty Draper. We've got Collab Choir, which is an amazing new choir that Kava Menzies runs. Kava has been head of music department at OSA for many years.
Oh, wow.
Currently, she's just teaching and running the choirs, but she was like, I want to tap into the alumni from OSA and some other folks who are singers out here and pull together a collab choir, which means that we just collaborate on writing. We collaborate with other artists to do background vocals for them and to help to have them to expand their compositions. So that'll be featured there, which is really exciting. My kids, I run an organization called the People's Conservatory, and my students do a show called COLA every year, which is an Afro-diasporic remix of the Nutcracker.
I went to COLA with the kids this year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we came out, and I seen like little clips and a little sneak peek of what they posted, right? And it doesn't even put it into like the actual words when you actually come into the building. So it was me, my wife, and my two youngest kids that came out to the event, right? And normally my youngest two, just to give you ideas, 13 and 9. Right.
Yes, I understand.
So if you have kids out there,
Yes.
their attention spans are very short.
Yes.
Like, Dad, I want to go home.
my
How
God.
much
Listen,
longer?
mine is 13,
I
and
know.
he will be a snoozing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be like, what's going on?
Snoozing.
But the crazy thing about it was, what was the show? Like an hour and a half?
Hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. The entire time they sat there, they were quiet, they were engaged, they were they were so in tune with the other little kids performing. Like 90% of the actors and people who are performing are kids.
Our kids.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
between the ages of like 5 and like 15.
5 and
Wow.
15, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is it a musical?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
it's
what's going on here?
It's in the words of Ntozake Shange, it's like a choreo poem.
Oh,
Because it's
okay.
got narrative, it's got a
Love it.
lot of dance, but it also has music. It also, has dialogue. So, so it's not like a typical Nutcracker.
Yeah.
And it's about a young Black girl in East Oakland, and so
Wow.
it's tracing our lineage along the the African slave trade.
Mhm.
So we're really trying to pull together all of the different nations that we were brought to along the route to get here.
Oh, wow.
And so this child goes back in time and visits all these countries.
Oh,
And she gets to see her ancestors and how they dance, how they move, how they emote, how they express.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So it's a cool show, y'all.
Wow. And when is it going to happen?
It's always every Christmas.
It's
so
at Christmas.
right
Okay.
before Christmas.
I want to make
And
sure
it was sold out,
I'm
y'all.
there.
So get your tickets
Ooh,
early.
Yeah, sold
Okay.
out.
Yeah,
So
like,
you'll
for
have
sure.
to come this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Because when I was in the Nutcracker in the San Francisco Ballet. when I was a kid.
Okay,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah. So my child just saw me dance for the first time ever last Friday night. I was in a dance performance. That child was like snoring so hard. I was like, I know I'm not that interesting.
We really are to our
We
children.
need to get him into something that he's going to stay awake for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get away from this one.
No,
Yeah.
that's super dope and interesting.
Thank
I mean,
you.
this might be a crazy surprise for everybody here, but I actually did theater my first year in college.
Did you really?
That's not a
See,
surprise.
you learn something new every day.
I
know.
So,
Yeah.
I'm not
I knew
surprised by
about
that.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my first year was in theater, and for our final year project, we had to create our own Christmas carol, and it was through ethnic studies. So we did an ethnic
cool.
Christmas carol.
Yes. Wow. That's nice.
So we brought because it was a group of us, and we were like every single race. It was Mexican, it was Black, it was it was Asian, and we threw every single one of the a leader from each race, and those were the ghosts. So it was really fun. It was really
Fun.
dope. I always respect theater and all the efforts
Yeah.
because those people make it look easy, and it's not.
It's not easy.
It's not
It's
easy at all.
completely
It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. We built a theater out of our warehouse, and that was
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Rozz,
But,
you know what I'm super excited about?
Yes, sir.
And I kind of titled it for everybody that's tuning in. I feel like you're building a new Black Wall Street in the Bay Area, and you're giving that space to others to develop their brands and everything.
Sounds
good.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Building the next Black Wall Street.
Yes.
Come
Yeah.
Come on, you
we're
heard it
into
here
that.
first, right? You get
Yeah.
it on the
Those of
t-shirt. I
us-
just want 10%.
Those of us
10%.
entrepreneurs
Dang,
are totally here for that.
Yeah. What was that the goal though? At the end of the day, was it just to provide a space, or was it to actually kind of build something that the Bay Area hasn't had space for yet to
Right.
thrive on? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a good question. And honestly, I think my business partner, Hassan, and I kind of came together under this. I feel like we had this idea of uniting organizations, uniting, communities, because when we come together, we're stronger. Right. But also, there is this sort of, I feel like in the Bay Area, people are really grasping for crumbs, grasping for whatever they can get. There's like a $2,000 grant that everybody's trying to go for. There's space issues. There's so many things that people are fighting over and grasping for. And it's like, what if we all came together and said, hey, we're all going to create a unified front and you need to support us all.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the way that we can do that. And that to me means that's how you build wealth.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And it's so beautiful that you said that, because we frequently talk about how it's separation that keeps us poor. It keeps us not thriving.
For sure.
For those of us that are not in a space where we feel like we're thriving or doing what we want to do, that's our passion or whatever. Because you're right about the pandemic. One thing that we did learn about through the pandemic is that we can make a way out of no way.
That's right.
Yeah, we have so many amazing talents that we don't even tap into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that also we can be, we already know this, especially about Black and brown people. We have come so far. We have had a way to thrive. We've made a way to thrive no matter what we've been thrown, generation after generation. We're still here. We're still killing it in a lot of ways. But oftentimes there's this competition thing, and it's discouraging because that's not the way. It's just not the way. And, we can't be mad when we see other people or other communities getting it and doing what they need to do and raising themselves up because they're holding hands, and so that's exactly what we need to do. Right. And that's one of the reasons why we do this show. That's definitely one of the reasons why we do this show, because we love lifting others and also being lifted.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing.
I know from a economic standpoint, right? The Black dollar is what, third?
Strong.
Yeah, it's like third. How many? Maybe Darren knows the exact number. It's like almost like $1 billion.
Trillion, I thought.
That's real.
It's in the trillions.
Trillion?
Yeah.
It's what's interesting about the Black dollar is, and this might be an old statistic, but what I learned is what's interesting about the Black dollar and our issue, and this is why we need to hold hands together. We are willing to give it to another race quick,
real quick.
It doesn't circulate through our community,
right? And what happens?
For seconds.
And what happens is when we give it to, say, a white business, that white business will keep that Black dollar circulating within white business.
That's right.
But when we give it to a Black business, unfortunately, we give it right back to the white business. And that goes getting into what you're talking about us having this kind of crab in the barrel mentality and not being together. Yeah. So what I think we're all here passionate about is bringing us together, and you build wealth, like you mentioned, by working together and keeping that dollar within your community. Right. If you notice, that's what the space is created for. Most ethnic communities, they keep the dollar within themselves. Chinese, Asian community, they keep it with themselves. Indian community, they keep it with themselves. White community, they keep it within themselves. Even Latino community, they do a decent job of keeping it within themselves. What we do as a culture is we're very quick to not keep it within ourselves. We're very quick to support a non-African-American brand, non-African-American business, and that's leaving the wealth. We're losing the wealth.
That's right. We
have the money. We have
we're spending the money too.
We have 5 to 10 billionaire African-American billionaires. We're not even talking about African. We have about 5, 10, both women and men billionaires right here. So we have the wealth. We just have to, and we're doing it. We are doing a better job, especially in the last, I would say, 5, 10 years of keeping that dollar within ourselves.
But you know what I find really amazing? Like a majority, like say a handful of those billionaires that we're talking about, right, have done it within this lifetime.
Yes.
within
That's
the
what's so
last
incredible.
20
Right.
plus
It's
years.
not generational
That
wealth.
is
Yeah, it's not
so
generational.
true.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
generational
such a
wealth.
great
They've
point.
done it in the last 20 to 25 years.
Yeah.
They became billionaires of putting their money in the right places, the right investments, coming together, doing all these things where a lot of us don't have the financial literacy to understand that we can do it within this lifetime.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Most millionaires and billionaires are created within the same generation. It's just that, whites have had, of course, a head start. But when we do it, we can do it like in a lifetime. Like there's, and of course, we only have like I would say a dozen or so billionaires, but God knows how many millionaires we have. We see it all the time sprouting up, all the time. So one thing I love about Black is I think we're the best, is my opinion. We're the best at having very little and turning it to
a lot.
You know,
and that's true. And that's true for agency.
That's so true.
At agency, we have very little. But we make magic in that room. Y'all.
Right.
We really
because
do.
it's not about how much, I was telling somebody recently that I can decorate a house and make it look like the cover of Architectural Digest.
Right.
Okay. Like, some people just are able to do that. And I think, we as a people are able to do that with every single thing, and we always have been. That's why we took the food at when in the slave quarters and made it taste like a gourmet meal, right? Yeah. And so, so it's so exciting to hear you say that. Okay, so we have little, but we're doing big things over at agency,
and it attracts more folks. Folks come. Stop in every day, like, hey, we heard about y'all. We have an extra stage. Yeah. We have an extra sound system. Do you guys need lights? Do you need support around this? Oh, we have this great, community of folks that want to do this kind of thing. Can we do it here? Like, we are just connecting with so many wonderful people. It's been incredible.
It's beautiful. That here in the Bay Area, that's especially over here in the East Bay. I think that we can start this revolution small. I mean, we're small, but we're big. Oakland is huge. And I think that we have to have that revolutionary mindset in order to raise each other up and to lift ourselves up. And I think also that we need to not compare ourselves to other other cities, they say like San Francisco, right? There's just San Francisco is that big, right? And still has a way of doing what they're doing wealth wise, and here in the East Bay, we have so much talent. Yeah. I mean, forever we've had so much talent. And over the years, I mean, I'm from here, but over the years, I've just seen it grow. And people are becoming more supportive of each other, because I do believe that as a community, we're kind of tired of the struggle. We're tired of struggle love amongst ourselves. We just are, and so I think it's so great. It's so exciting to see this happening. Can you talk a little bit more about what's happening on Friday the 24th?
Yes,
at Agency?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the Bricktown is a new market series that we're doing. We're doing night markets as well as day markets. And this one next week is our first night market. And we're really, really excited. We have, we're looking to get about 75 vendors. We're almost there.
Oh, wow.
And
what do you do to qualify to be a vendor at an event like this?
Right. So we have a platform called Marketplace that all of our vendors kind of sift through. And there's certain guidelines, especially particularly for food. For food, you've got to have certain permits and certifications because we want, people to be safe and, eat great,
don't
healthy
want the bubble
food.
guts after you leave.
Don't want the bubble guts after you leave. So definitely more around that. We've got to have folks with their certifications. But other vendors, we really are trying to create an incubator program where we can bring folks in who are really at the beginning of their careers and help them to build to that point where they can even have a brick and mortar, even within the space where we're in. So we're building out that program now, and it's important to us because we want folks to understand that you can start with a table and then move to a kiosk and then move to a store and then move to a larger store. There's a way to do that.
Right.
So we're really excited to launch that and to show people, how do you get certified? How do you get these certain permits? You know, how do you pass certain tests to make sure that your food is able to be sold? You know, that's kind of our goal, is to create that incubator.
And with that incubator, like, is it an age range that you're working with to get started? Like,
I mean, anywhere from 18 on up.
Come on. You hear that, young entrepreneurs?
Come
18?
on.
Yeah.
We had a couple at our last year. Son was at our
Yeah.
last one, his friend. They
Yeah.
did great. They're
Nice.
amazing entrepreneurs.
Nice. Love it.
Absolutely. But yeah, we'll have performances, DJs. You know, we've got Element Crew. We've got so many great DJs coming through.
And
It's
what's
gonna
the
be cool.
time frame on
6
Friday?
p.m. to 11 p.m. It's a night event. I'm also opening a new wellness studio. And that studio is going to open its doors that night so that you can walk in and get free yoga classes, Pilates, Qigong, sound baths, Reiki healing.
I might have to get there early because I'm a yoga teacher,
You
but I
gotta
also
come.
like to.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
right.
I also like to take classes. You know,
Please
I love,
come. I
love,
would
yeah.
love for you to meet our teachers and let me know what you think. And be like,
Yeah,
okay,
love
Roz,
that.
I think this is,
I love it.
So it's a big night.
So with the businesses that you currently have, right? Is there any gaps that haven't been filled so far? Like, do you have like so many people with clothing brands, so many people with their own, candle businesses, whatever the case may be? Is
Got
it
a lot of
something?
candles. Got a lot of candles out there.
Oh, good.
Is it particular
I
businesses
love
that you're,
candles.
you don't have enough of that you're looking for to come through and, be supported out there?
That's a good question. I would love more plants.
Plants, okay.
Yeah,
Anything
people
in
who
business?
sell plants.
Oh,
I would love
have
that.
somebody. I know somebody, a sister in Oakland. She's a plant lady.
Yeah, I want some plant ladies.
Yeah,
I
I'll
really do.
shout out to her.
I
Yeah,
think that would be
Yeah,
great.
You can actually make good money doing that too.
Yeah.
You can make real good money selling
Absolutely.
plants, flowers, especially certain seasons, a certain day just passed by. People were getting a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah. We're looking to do like a variety of things. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love to do just a plant fair. I'd love to do just a vintage clothing fair.
Oh my God.
Just
Please do a vintage clothing
That's
fair.
coming.
Because I do not want to go to Sacramento.
No, I don't want you to.
Yeah.
I refuse to let
Yes,
you go any
because
longer.
some of us love the vintage clothing.
It's coming, girl. Watch.
Yes. Love it, love it, love it.
So right now, what's the next step after this event? Like, this event is coming up next week. You
Yeah.
said there are going to be more programs that people could sign up for. How
Right.
often are you looking to have these events?
We're
at
looking to
agencies?
have the fairs every weekend. We want people to be able to vend
Love it.
regularly.
Yeah.
Love it.
To help
Yes.
sustain their businesses. Because
Love
if you
that.
have these one-off and these pop-ups,
Yeah.
that's not really doing. I mean, it's cute to be out there and say, hey, I'm going
Yeah.
to be at this thing, but
Right.
how about I'm going to be at this thing every month,
Yeah.
Right.
or every other week?
Consistency is so important in
Yeah.
anything, but especially business, because if you do it every week, people are gonna know.
That's right.
Yeah.
People are gonna know. Just they're gonna be there.
They're
Okay.
going to be there. All right, that's
I'm-
where you go.
If I may not be able to make it this weekend, but next weekend they're gonna be there.
We want to be that place for people.
I love
And
it.
we actually really, really are excited about starting like a food vendor area, because we don't have one of those outdoor food truck areas where it's just there all the time.
Mhm.
That doesn't exist in
Yeah.
Oakland.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
Where?
Because I know there's
I
one
think the
here.
closest
There's
thing we had
El
to it was the lake.
Cerrito.
El Cerrito.
Lake Merritt.
Yeah.
Right.
Lake
But
Merritt's
the-
not all
no,
the time.
Lake,
No.
okay.
Yeah.
And then Marin, over there at Larkspur Landing.
But I
That's
don't want to
yeah.
pay
I don't
toll.
remember.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
don't
go
wanna pay
over
toll.
there.
Wants to be right.
I don't want to go there either.
So
Yeah.
food folks, if you're interested,
See,
let
that's
us
what we're
know,
looking for.
because we're
Absolutely.
building a new outdoor food area for
Nice.
Oakland.
And I know a gentleman, my friend, I'm just going to shout you out, Cecil, who is an incredible cook. And he is going to start his food truck business hopefully very soon.
Okay.
And so I will
Let's
make
get him going.
sure that yes,
Yep.
yes. It's
I love
gonna
it.
happen.
Yeah. So
I
big
love it.
plans.
Love it.
Absolutely.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. We also want to host festivals, like music festivals, because we have enough space
Stop
for
it!
that. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Can you imagine
Yeah,
if we got our music festival
I
here?
think we're gonna
That
have a
would
few
be
of them.
sick.
Some folks have been popping by lately and saying, "Yep, we want this."
So
for
on
our
your
It
list
would be
of-
about damn time.
I know.
So
sorry,
on your
Felicia.
list of everybody you can have for a music festival, who would be like your top
Oh
three?
my God!
have
Yeah, perform at agencies.
Yes.
Like if you can have
Music festival.
your list, let's get it.
Oh, now.
They're
What's your
listening
wish
to the
list?
Anything Can Happen
The
show
wish
right
list.
The
Yeah.
wish
now. Yeah, the top
list.
three.
Oh
Who'll be
my
at your music
gosh,
festival?
guys.
Yeah.
Well, my tastes are very eclectic, so I don't know if
Mine
I'm
too,
speaking
so
for
shout it
the
out.
whole agency family. For me, wow. Oh God, that's a hard question. I
that's
want
why you're here.
everybody.
Come on, just shout it out. Just a
Just like
few.
your
Just
top-
give us a little.
Yeah, like your favorites.
Just give
like,
us three. Just give us three.
I
Yeah.
would love Anderson Paak, y'all.
Oh yes.
Okay.
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 Anderson Paak could come up in
Yes.
here
You mean
Okay. Yeah.
when he comes.
Anderson.
Anderson,
We're talking to you, bro.
let's go.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
he has that sense of community. He knows how to build business. He's very much about just like bringing folks together,
Mhm.
and so his presence just does that.
Yes.
So I would love to have him.
Beautiful.
Okay, that's one.
Okay, that's one.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, no, you're not getting away.
I thought I was.
I
No.
thought you were gonna just slide
Yeah,
past that one.
uh-huh.
I really did.
Come on. We want to know who your favorites are. Just two more.
Okay, two more. How about I spent a lot of my life in New York. I'm a musician as well.
Me too.
So spent 25 years playing music and touring the world, and
Wow.
which was wonderful. And I got to
Beautiful.
meet a lot of amazing people.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite bands is this band way back in the 90s called Jamiroquai.
I know Jamiroquai, of
yeah.
course. I mean, yes.
And I just
Jamiroquai.
loved them as a teenager.
Love.
And they have that festival feel.
Yeah,
Their music is
absolutely.
just universal.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of people together.
Yeah,
So I would
totally.
love to have Jamiroquai
That
come
can you imagine? That would be
and
great.
do something.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's the top two. Last
Two.
one.
One more.
Oh my gosh.
Don't keep it-
Come on.
Well, here's the thing. I'm also a choreographer.
Mhm.
And so dance is a really big part of my life. And I would love to have a dance component to these festivals.
Of course.
So I want to bring Alvin Ailey.
Oh.
Wow.
And that I
okay.
know I can do. I actually
Wow.
have that.
Okay.
That one
I had his number. I don't
Really?
want to brag, but I had his
Stop.
That
number.
one I can do.
Wow.
So that's gonna be fire.
Okay.
okay.
I want to do an
okay.
outdoor dance festival.
Mhm. Well, I want to shout this out to my dance teacher over at New Style Motherlode, Corey Action, right here in Oakland.
Okay.
I want him a part of this too. I'm just gonna shout you out, Corey. Corey's gonna be like, "Girl, be quiet." But he's a Bay Area dance like icon,
Yeah.
and my dance teacher, and did a great show on Friday night or whatever.
Mm.
And so many artists. That's the thing too. It's just so many artists,
Yeah.
that we have access to.
Yeah.
And I love the ones that you mentioned. Girl, let's just
Come on.
manifest it.
Come on.
Let's-
We bring it
Man,
forward.
we are speaking this into existence.
Absolutely. I know we can do it.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Are you guys coming? I hope you all are coming.
What is?
They're coming. They're saying yes, yes,
They're,
they're
they're
coming.
watching. They're
They're
tuned in.
coming.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome sauce.
So, y'all, you know what time it is.
Oh, is it midday time?
It's midday time. We
Okay.
have to take a quick music break. You're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show, and we'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us, y'all.
I'ma pull up to my thing in the whip, and it's sweating like an athlete. But you don't wanna go, don't wanna leave. I guess it's only fake me.
Anytime this speaker's on, that's when that happens.
But I don't wanna be your wifey. Hell no. These niggas get so trippy once you think that you in love. You fucking on them bitches, but you think you only one. When you say you're done, you can really be done. If you stick around, you gon' think it's all fun. I can only tell you 'cause I just was you. All that back and forth, that's a game for a fool. Wanna put you on, they say
Second half, we'll start talking about how the show is going to be live.
Number two, get your money.
We're gonna talk about the guests that you're gonna interview and all that stuff.
So the second half, we'll talk about how we're going to be doing our show live.
Yeah.
Number two, get your money, do you? Ain't no point in the stress. Baby girl don't say I love you to that boy. He gon' feel it something, he gon' treat you like a toy. Then again, maybe he gon' but baby, when you say you can't fall in love and I'm listening to. You so worried about what he gon' do when he find out you been doing you. But he been doing my long, so I had to make a song that you know you look good. Girl, stop playing with yourself now. Tell them what I go and
I can't even read that.
you can't find no pussy, but no, I'm really crying in the pillow, get some
Yeah.
right? Just be
She's so good,
Yeah,
right?
I like it. Sakana, she's been in the studio.
Is she local?
Richard.
Okay, we need to have her perform at some of our stuff. We want to do that too, like up and coming artists. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Really? I'm very happy.
All right, come back.
All right. Thank you.
I love that song. I need that.
That's
I need that for my yoga.
yes. I'm talking about yoga like this.
And you're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show with Kenya Asa, your man Cat Fitness, and our special guest host today, Darren from Financial State of Minds. We have a special guest in the building today. We have Rozz from Oakland Agency, talking about how she is building the brand new Black Wall Street in the Bay Area. Y'all heard it here
She's
first.
like, that's what you keep saying.
I think I'm saying
It is
we-
not hurting.
we
It
go-
does not hurt. It's landing properly.
Man, I'm pretty sure when they were building Black Wall Street, they were having this exact same conversation
Yeah.
back then amongst their community, amongst the people
That's
that were,
right.
doing big things.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah,
we're doing the
yeah,
same here in the
facts.
Bay Area, right?
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about this upcoming event that you have on February 24th.
Yes.
It's a night market,
Night market.
black and brown market, and it's in partnership with the Black Joy Parade.
That's right.
Okay, so you're also going to have like some special people there doing some interviews.
Yes,
I
we
heard.
are. I heard through the
What?
grapevine.
I'm sorry. Who?
Anything can happen.
Man, we're going to be in the
show
building.
is about to be up in the building. You guys
Yeah.
are kicking off our talent, our night of performers. So you're going to be that 6 to 8 p.m. slot. We're excited.
Yes.
We're excited to hear about all the wonderful people you're going to be bringing. Tell us
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So we have people like
Kariga Bailey
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Soul Development.
That's right.
and we also have DB Bedford from, I Never Worry. He has a great, wonderful book talking about the mindset. We have to understand the power comes from the mind, y'all. The
Absolutely.
mindset of not allowing outside distractions to dictate who you are
That's right.
as a person.
Yeah.
We also have Monk, our spiritual
Brother Monk,
Yes.
love it.
meditation coach.
I'm so
Okay.
excited about that because we interviewed Monk a long time ago, me and Kat, and that was the last time I ever interviewed. No. I've interviewed Monk twice, I think. Anyway,
Ooh.
I love Monk and I'm excited to speak to him too.
Absolutely.
And you have another special guest that you invited out.
I did.
Can you let us know who we have in the building?
So we also invited.
Or should we wait to tell them later?
Wait, I was so excited.
I think we
see
should-
the audience like that.
Yeah, we gotta tease them.
Okay,
You
well
can't
let
tell
me.
them
I
everybody.
will.
Is
I
it
will.
someone of the female persuasion?
Yes,
So,
that's what I was
because
about
I'm
to
hearing
say,
A lot of male
because-
fine.
Exactly. It was getting a little sausage festy
What?
in here. But thank goodness for my girl who shall I
Please.
I think they have to wait until the end of the episode to find out
Lord,
our
okay.
special female guest.
Okay. But I'm excited. I just want to hint that I was just on her podcast.
Oh.
And there are no word restrictions.
There's no word restrictions?
No, because it's podcast.
It's podcast, yeah.
There are no FCC laws or whatever.
I'm here for that.
And I said many, many, many words.
Any expletives?
Well, no, I wouldn't say expletives, but I would say things that might be frowned upon by the FCC.
Got it.
Uh-oh. You talking in your late night voice now.
Oh, well, listen,
That's a whole different show.
it's a whole different
That's a midnight show.
It's a midnight, yes.
Here for that.
After dark. Let's call it Kenya After Dark.
We scared of you, Kenya.
Oh my God.
So good.
So, what other events can you let us know that agency has upcoming this year? What's like on the to-do list of 2023?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of great vendor markets that are coming up. Some folks that want to do things around cannabis. Some folks that we have.
How does that work? If you don't mind me asking, like, right now we have a lot of like the cookies and different dispensaries in the Bay Area. Like when people want to do like a pop-up, like how does that work for,
Yeah, so the thing about cannabis is you can't just pop up.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna
There
say
will be
you
no
can't.
popping.
Yeah.
It takes about up to 3 months to get permits to have certain like cannabis events, particularly if folks want to sell.
Yeah.
So we have people who are interested in having, and there are also sessions. Sessions are events where they're not selling, but people are just like in the lifestyle, just like hanging out, doing their thing. But yeah, cannabis events. There's some regulations around how you do that. You also can't have alcohol and cannabis in the same venue.
Really?
So that's something to know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
Cannot.
I had no idea.
Not at all.
Can't have the cannabis and have a shot afterwards.
Right,
huh?
you cannot. So it's a specifically curated thing for sure.
How interesting.
But we'll be doing that. We have, lots of different cultural vintage markets. A Peruvian one that's coming up. One that's called not decentralized. I forgot the name of their market.
It's
oh my
gonna
God,
come back.
it's gonna come back to me
to
soon
you.
because we're doing one with them soon
Yeah.
that I'm really excited about. We're doing potentially a really cool music festival with I can't say it. I don't know if I can say it.
Oh, why can't you say it? Why can't you say
Can
it?
we have a hint?
He's a big Oakland name for folks who are in like the DJ world and in the music world. Everybody knows him, and he just came by yesterday and was like, "Yeah, I'm doing my festival here."
Well, if he said it, can't we say it? I mean, it's not like we're
the
spilling
contract had
it.
been
The contract.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't want you to get messed up.
Yeah.
I'm a paperwork person. Don't say it.
But we've got some folks that have been saying they want to do stuff. I know Sway told me he wanted to do Sway Fest with us at some point,
Oh,
so
that's
that
so
would be
dope.
cool.
Yes.
So lots of really cool things are coming up, y'all. Y'all
Oh
gotta
my
stay tuned
gosh.
with us. It's gonna be
Is there a
cute.
place where people can see the yearly calendar, website, or anything like that? They can
We're
check
getting
stuff
that
out?
all together on our website. So if
Okay.
you can go to agencyoakland.com, that's how you can kind of stay in touch. And then we'll be sharing the calendar on our IG as well, which is at Agency Oakland.
Okay. I have a question. So, for those people out there that know nothing about you, where are you from? How did you get into this? What are some of your, what did you do kind of moving up to this point?
Ooh, child.
I
We ain't
know.
got enough time.
I know, but I'm saying, I think for me,
He's
I'm
like,
old.
is this a
I know
question?
this is a long, I
Life.
know this is a long question, but I think what I'm trying to say is a lot of people, always kind of want to know if this is a passion for you, right? How did you get here? Because it is really hard for a lot of us to even think along the lines of doing something because we're scrambling,
Right.
we're hustling,
Yeah.
and so sometimes we put things that maybe would be good for the community or good for ourselves just mentally and spiritually and emotionally on the back burner, and so just kind of curious as to this is a beautiful spot that you're in and you're creating something for all of us. This is not just about you.
Oh no.
This is a community situation. Absolutely. And so how?
Well, first of all, I'm a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a hustler in terms of community hustler. For me, my hustle is about how do we serve community in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
And it always has been, honestly. My mom has worked in community for many years in education, and so I kind of learned that sort of way of that ethic, that work ethic. And so all of my work has been in service from the time when I moved to New York at 17 years old. I went to become a musician, but then I started getting into youth development and programs with kids and just teaching a lot. So when I wasn't out doing music, I was teaching, or I was working with kids in various youth development organizations. And then I started an organization called WERISE, which was a women's artist organization to empower them to make money from their art. Because so many women felt like they couldn't name themselves as artists. So we had to do a lot of workshopping around just claiming, you know?
How interesting.
And that took months.
Well, that's empowering the
That
community.
is so
You know what I'm saying?
interesting. I would have never thought that.
Yeah, and so the acronym of WERISE is Women Empowered through Revolutionary Ideas Supporting Enterprise. And we created it in like 1999. It's been many years, but it blew up. We had like 1,000 members in New York City. I ran it with a couple of other singer-songwriters that I know, Imani, Uzuri, and Tomasia, Kastner, Infinity. And you know, a lot of people came up through there. A lot of folks that are like huge now came up through our organization. And so that's where I really learned how to mobilize community around this idea of empowerment, but empowerment specifically to like, how do you pull yourself up out of this economically? Like, how do we come together and realize that our collaboration can translate into dollars?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Like coming together can actually move you this way.
Right.
And so that was the goal. And so once we did that, I was like, wow, I love doing this work.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of happened. And, you know, I like to create things. I'm one of those people who just creates projects all the time. And so this fell into my lap and we just kind of went with it, honestly.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I think it is so true that when we create outside of ourselves for something that is for all of us, or a community based, or something to help each other, then I think the universe just aligns.
It does.
Just because it knows that what you're doing is so powerful and so important and so positive, you know, and so it's blessings upon blessings.
No, I feel that,
Yeah.
and I think you're right. And you know, and a lot of people come through. I'm not saying everybody who comes through's got good intentions.
No,
Now. There's still some folks that come through that.
Yeah.
Well,
You
there's
know.
always
So
going to
what-
be that.
So what was that moment in your own personal journey where you understood your own, like you had value? You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people do have the skill set, do have a lot of talent, but they don't know how to put a value around that. Or when they do have a value, they don't understand they're worth that value.
Right.
That's the empowering part,
Yeah.
to say like, I have these skills and it's worth this. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like, how do you
hard,
teach somebody-
man. Ooh,
How did
I've been on
you
that
begin
journey.
to teach somebody that?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where a lot of our viewers are. They have these skill sets, but they don't know like, how do I price this? How do I know it's, you know, the same value of a Nike or of a whatever brand that's already out there? How can I say I'm worth it?
Right, absolutely. No, and that is half the battle. It's just, and that's why what I meant by so many of the women, when we were kind of at these round tables, just wanted to be able to claim, oh yeah, I am a singer. Oh, that's right. That's not just a hobby. No, I am this.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes you just have to look in the mirror and say it, even if it's not true to you yet.
That's right.
It may not be true to you yet.
That's right.
That doesn't mean it isn't true.
That's right.
I think also realizing that the biggest person you look up to had the same feelings at some point.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's something that we all deal with it.
Mhm.
Like we all deal with it. But
Sure.
realizing that this person who charges more than you ever thought you could charge had the same feelings that you did, it makes
That's
it relatable.
It does.
And that
for sure.
relatability is so important to me. Is relatability. Like, hey, I was where you were at. I remember that. This is exactly what I did
Mhm.
to overcome it.
That's
you
right.
can, and the most important thing, you can do it too.
And
That's right.
sometimes you just need somebody to cuss you out, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm a makeup artist also. And I remember many years ago, I was charging like not very much
Pennies
for
on
like
the dollar.
pennies on the dollar for
Yeah.
like for like weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends who is a well-paid photographer pulled me into a wedding, you know, and these people had money, like real money, these people. And she pulled me aside and she's like, I cannot keep my mouth shut anymore.
Right.
She said, you are not charging enough
Yeah.
But that's a lot of
money.
That's the
Yeah.
issue with a lot of these upcoming businesses. They're
That's
not
the-
sustainable because you're not charging
That's
enough.
right.
That's
That's
the
right.
number one thing I face as a business consultant.
Yeah.
Helping startups, that's the number one thing I
Is
face.
it?
Is we, especially minorities,
Yes.
Mhm.
we do not charge enough.
Why do we?
Well, I think we also have a
Devalue
deficit
ourselves.
mindset, you know,
Yeah.
and there's a prevalent deficit mindset,
Yeah.
particularly in the nonprofit community, because
Right.
I run a nonprofit and a lot of it is around living in the red most of the time, and just that's okay because you're a nonprofit. It's like, no, that's not okay.
Right.
I want to run my nonprofit like a for-profit.
Yeah.
I want us to be in the black
That's right.
and taking care of our people and being
Yeah.
in abundance and
Yeah.
not being in a deficit.
Well, and it's hard when you are a giver, because you kind
Yeah,
because you kind of
true.
want to like think of like how I can help, and then sometimes we're in these positions where we're not able to make any money because we're helping.
It's very true.
And and I think that as people who are kind of now like in this field where we're talking to a lot of people and helping people and putting ourselves out there, is to know that one conversation, like that conversation she had with me, changed my life.
Right.
I never devalued myself again,
Mhm.
like never. And I like tripled because I thought to myself, well, if they cannot afford me, then that's okay. There's
Yeah, I
nothing
can walk
wrong.
away from it.
Well,
Right.
no, there's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with them that they can't afford me. And I will tell people contact me all the time with like, hey, can you do my wedding for $55 or whatever. And I'll say, hey, I understand if that's your budget. Unfortunately, that's below my, what
Asking
I do.
price. Yeah.
However, I know some up and coming makeup artists
Right.
that you might be able to chat to, and I will refer people all the time. I'm constantly referring people,
Right.
because just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for somebody else that
Right.
might want to practice on you.
Right. But there's also power in
Yeah.
supporting people and learning how to make that money.
Absolutely.
So
For
a young
sure.
lady came to me and said, I have this really brilliant idea about this, gathering that I want to do, around bringing together Black women, around care and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds dope. I was like, we definitely want to do it,
Yep.
And she was like, well, what's your fee? And I was like, well, this is our fee. And
Right.
she's like, oh. Because I think a lot of the time we come to each other hoping that you're going to do
Yeah,
this for me
hook
for
up.
free.
Right.
I'm going to do this for you for free.
Yeah.
And it continues to take us down that deficit mindset
Yes.
spiral.
Yeah.
And so I said, listen, love, I'm going to show you how you can afford to pay for this.
Yeah.
Because we actually should want to support each other with
right.
our dollars.
That's right.
Again, keeping the money within our community.
Right.
Yeah.
You can get this money and it can come into this community and support all of these other folks that we can bring in vendors. Like I was giving her
Yeah.
We're doing
ideas
our
on
game.
how you do this. Here's
Sure.
the sponsors that would really love to support your idea.
Yep.
That money is actually there.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Don't come in here thinking you don't have it, boo.
Yeah.
The money is there waiting for you.
That's right.
Right.
You've got to go out and say, hey, you want to fund this.
Yep.
And they do.
Yeah.
Right.
They actually do want to fund these
That's
things.
right.
And she came back
And
to
we're
me
worth it.
last
We're
week,
worth
y'all,
it.
and she was like, I got all the money, Rozz.
Wow.
And I was like, yes, you did. Yes,
So
you did.
for somebody
Beautiful.
like that
Yeah,
out there,
Absolutely.
what would be like the number one thing you would tell them that they need to have when they go out and look for funding like that? What are companies looking for to say, okay, that's a tangible idea, I want to invest in that? What would you say?
Well, I mean, a lot of it, some of it is not even so much about the idea, but the presentation. Like if you have
Yes.
a great deck, and you have
Yes.
someone that can make it look like
See, but a lot of people don't even know what a deck is.
what a deck is. So
So,
that's why
I-
the incubation
That's the
is so
learning curve.
important.
Y'all, I did not know what a deck was
Right.
until we were here in doing this show at this station. I had never heard that word until we were here. Yeah,
Thing we
and
take
so,
for
and I'm a
granted.
grown ass woman, right?
What people
So
know.
I didn't know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
For the listeners, that's
Yes.
what I specialize in, is funding businesses.
There you go.
So there is, and we're in the good season right now, top of the year.
Yeah.
This is the best time. There are grants that you've never heard of
Mhm.
for communities you've never heard of that are out there, and there are websites. It starts with Google, of course,
right.
but if you just go to your city, your state,
Mhm.
and even federal, your county, you start there. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars in
There are.
grants.
Yeah.
Grants.
Yeah.
Not
Grants.
have to pay.
And then for a lot
That's
of,
right.
and you don't have to pay it
Yeah,
back.
it's
and
free
a lot-
money, y'all.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
a lot of people don't understand this, is that you can't just you have to look professional on paper
Mhm.
when you want people to give you money, whether
Right.
it's a grant, a loan, an investor. You have to look professional. So you have to have the professional accounts. You have to have the website. You
Mhm.
have to have the EIN numbers. You have to have the paperwork straightened out. So when somebody wants to give you money, they're just not like, oh, you just want free money that you're just gonna blow off.
Right.
You have to have a business plan.
That's
You have to have all these things in place, and you're basically, it's free money, guys. Like, you got to convince people to give you free money. It's not
That's
just going to
right,
be like
right.
they hand you out just because you have a business.
And I have to say, if it weren't, honestly, you guys, if it weren't for Darren, I probably might still not have any of those things,
Mm.
because Darren has helped me so much. I do have an EIN number, and of course I have a website and all that stuff. And listen to what he's saying,
No,
because
absolutely.
it is gold dripping from his mouth.
Yeah, presentation and how you word things. I've been running the People's Conservatory for a number of years, and I was getting a little down on grant writing and feeling like, gosh, I'm putting out all this effort and nothing's coming back, and da da da. And then I found a friend who said, you just need someone who knows how to write in the language that they speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like,
They're
Yeah.
looking for like key
so
words.
again, it's not the idea, it's how you say it.
Yep.
And so I put it in her hand. She's become my grant writer now.
Mhm.
We have raised so much money this year for that
Mhm.
organization that I never had years past
Yeah.
because of how you say it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So it's a lot of these things.
For all the
Yeah.
people out there, I mean, that's, we speak to so many entrepreneurs on this show, and I think that there's so much frustration
Yeah.
out there where people just really think that, gosh, there's, I can't do this, or I don't have any family support,
Sure.
and I get that, as a Black yoga teacher, trust me.
Okay,
I
talk
understand.
about
I
I can only
understand
imagine.
that.
I can only
Okay.
imagine.
Right. Okay. Because 20 something years ago, when I told my mother that I was interested in this, and then, Ayurveda, and I want to do this,
Yeah.
she looked at me like I had lost every piece of my
Yes,
mind.
she did. Yes,
She
did.
was like, what are you even talking? What are the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, go just get a government job and shut up.
Right.
And
That's
so
amazing.
and so the thing is that, and one of the things I've learned over the years as an entrepreneur is that sometimes your support is not going to be within your circle.
Mhm.
It's just not going to be in your immediate circle.
Can I
But I'm just going to say, but that does not mean that your idea or your passion is not valuable or valid. Just means that they do not understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Darren.
I'm going to piggyback on that, and I want listeners to understand this. Do not expect your family and your
Right.
friends to be your support.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That is,
Amen.
I'm sure we can all speak on this. We're going to have a small amount, but that's never going to be the majority.
Nope.
And I only say that because like you just said earlier, we get discouraged when our friends and family aren't supporting us, aren't listening to our podcast or radio. So every single episode, understand that is okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. Because your family probably isn't your target audience. You're
Yeah.
trying to sell to anyways.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So if you think about it
Absolutely.
that way, it's okay. It's absolutely okay if your friends and family are not your number one supporters. Those are not the people you're trying to service anyways, usually.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely
they're not
right.
going to they may not get it.
Yeah.
My mother just looked at my website for the first time. She read through it, like, it's comprehensive, because I wanted a comprehensive website. And she said, I felt like I didn't even know who that person was.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, you
Your
know,
daughter.
because it is not within your realm of, you know, purview. You know, it's not your thing. And it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Absolutely does not have to
Totally
be.
okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
So once again, we might have to get to an episode 3, y'all, because
Okay.
we're
It's
getting
okay.
to
We can get going.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
Man, every time Rozz is in the building, every time agency is in the building,
Yeah.
man, we can go on and on.
On and on.
But we want to remind all our viewers out there the upcoming event. So tell them once again.
Yeah, Brick Market. So this is our night market with Black Joy Parade. It's called, we're celebrating joy and wellness in all of its facets. So yes, make sure you're there next February.
Next
Friday.
February?
Next Friday. Next Friday, February 24th, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay, do people need to go anywhere for tickets, or is it a free event, or how
We
does that
have
work?
an Eventbrite that you can RSVP to. We ask folks if you can RSVP. We would like to, because it gives us a head count, knows what it is. But it's a free event. You can come with all, tell all.
Is it going to be food there?
Oh
'Cause,
yeah,
you know, people are
People
hungry
always
at night.
want food.
listen, y'all.
After
The
work.
food
It's after work.
is crazy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
Food
telling
that we
me-
got coming through is crazy, y'all.
You're telling me there's
We
going to
got
be
Town
food?
Freak, we got Mother's Touch, we got Chef
Ooh.
Alrika. Remember Chef
Yes,
Alrika?
yes, fire.
Fire.
Jamaican.
Okay.
Come on,
Jamaican
y'all.
vegan
We got
food,
vegan
bro.
hood chefs. What?
Coming through.
Read
in the building.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So that night, you're going to have food, you're going to have vendors, music, and you're going to give them the ACH show live
Yeah. And free dance classes.
and
What?
free dance classes.
Yes.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
And you're
let's
gonna
go.
have a yoga teacher there, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
several.
good. I'm going to be partaking in that. It'll be so lovely to partake.
You gonna have your little
Yeah.
yoga outfit on that day?
Oh,
Your
I
little-
mean,
your little tights?
I might have to
that
bring.
might bring out a lot of
I
people.
might have to bring
to,
my outfit that I'm
Uh-huh.
interviewing in.
Oh, right.
Okay.
And then
And then
change
change
into
it.
the yoga
Yes.
tights.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He
A lot of
said
people want
yoga
Tights.
tights.
Or what-
It is
yoga pants?
so funny.
yoga pants. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
wear yoga.
Well, unfortunately, I have not seen you in no like yoga outfit.
Okay.
But we can
Yeah.
change that.
Yeah.
Come on, come through.
Okay. Tell me where to
Come
get
on,
out.
Let's get some tights on,
Right.
Coach.
Man, if y'all want to see me in some tights, come out February 24th
You just said it.
to the Black
We all
Joy
heard
Parade
I
kickoff
heard
party.
We all heard it.
God.
I heard it.
You heard it, right? But you have to be there to see it.
Yeah, well, there's that other thing I do at agency.
Uh-oh.
I do an
That-
all-male stripper event called the King of Hearts.
That's a whole different episode.
Did the eyes start
We-
blinking?
I don't even know what you're talking about now.
King of Hearts will be coming up
Well-
again soon, and we may get Coach on the stage.
Uh-oh.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
King of
Good.
I will be there.
We'll be there.
I will
King
be,
of
but
Hearts.
I only to help
To help out.
you,
Yeah.
support
Just,
you.
to
Because,
support.
I'm a happily married woman. It's not like, I might even put some eye covers on.
Sure, whatever you
Yeah.
Just letting y'all know that is coming up.
Right.
All right, so you're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to show up next week, February 24th, to the, come on, tell them one more time.
Brick Market, Joy and Wellness.
Come on, see you there. Peace.
Are we looking at the newest King of Heart, Mr. Fitness?
Uh-oh.
The newest King of Hearts.
It's my night job, y'all.
Join
Don't
the
judge me.
stage.
This
Oh,
is a
no.
judge-free
No
zone.
judgment. I'm the last one to judge, okay?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, y'all. Don't forget, I was a stripper myself back in the 90s.
That
I ain't judging.
is hilarious.
So what kind of yoga do you teach?
Oh my gosh. So I'm trained